Your brain is powerful, but it's full of hidden traps. Every day we fall for mental shortcuts, cognitive biases, that quietly distort our decisions. These shortcuts once helped us survive, but now they often lead us astray. The real key to smarter thinking isn't more information, it's understanding our own mental flaws. In this video, we'll break down 3 of the most common mind traps and how to beat them. By the end, you'll have practical tools to make clearer, more confident choices. Ready to upgrade your thinking? Let's dive in. First up, survivorship bias. It's a cognitive distortion that can significantly skew our perception of success and failure. We love success stories. They inspire us, motivate us, and give us something to strive for. College dropouts who become billionaires, the Mark Zuckerbergs and Bill Gates of the world, athletes who defy the odds, overcoming obstacles to reach the pinnacle of their sport. But for every headline success, for every story that captures our imagination, there are thousands of failures we never hear about. A silent graveyard of dreams unrealized. This bias tricks us into thinking, often subconsciously, the path to success is obvious, that it's a straight line from point A to point B, when we're only seeing the winners, the ones who made it to the finish line. A famous example, one that perfectly illustrates this bias. In World War II, the military wanted to reinforce planes to protect their aircraft from enemy fire, where returning aircraft had the most bullet holes. The initial thought was to add armor to those areas. Statistician Abraham Wald realized, however, that this was the wrong approach. The real danger was where there were no bullet holes, the areas untouched by enemy fire on the returning planes. Because planes hit there never made it back. They were shot down and lost. Focusing only on survivors gives us a distorted view, a false sense of security. The lesson? What can we learn from this? Don't just study the winners, don't only analyze the success stories, look for the missing failures. Seek out the data that isn't readily available. When you see a business trend or a viral success, ask, what's the full picture? How many tried and failed? What's the failure rate? Dig deeper than the highlight reels. Go beyond the surface-level narratives. This isn't about being cynical. It's not about dismissing success. It's about being realistic. It's about having a balanced perspective. By seeing both the successes and the failures, by acknowledging the full spectrum of outcomes, you make smarter, more informed decisions. You're less likely to fall for hype, and more likely to assess risk accurately. Survivorship bias is everywhere. It permeates our understanding of the world, careers, investments, even fitness. It affects how we perceive risk and reward in all areas of life. Train yourself to notice what's missing, to question the narratives presented to you, not just what's celebrated. Look beyond the surface and consider the unseen. That's how you avoid the trap. That's how you develop a more realistic and nuanced understanding of success. Next, let's delve into the fascinating world of the clustering illusion. It's a cognitive bias that can trick us into seeing patterns where none truly exist. This illusion stems from our brain's innate urge to find patterns, even when faced with pure randomness. We're wired to seek order, sometimes to a fault. We commonly see streaks in sports, those moments when an athlete seems unstoppable, and we often hear about lucky runs in gambling, tales of individuals defying the odds. We even believe in hot hands, the idea that a player is more likely to score after a successful shot, even though these are often not real. Interestingly, psychologists have conducted studies and proved that a basketball player's perceived hot streak is usually just random chance playing out. It's a statistical anomaly, not a sign of superhuman skill. The same principle applies to coin flips, a classic example of pure randomness. Just because you get heads 5 times in a row doesn't statistically mean tails is due on the next flip. Each flip is an independent event. Our minds, however, hate the ambiguity of randomness, so we often invent stories and narratives to explain it, creating a false sense of control. This illusion, if left unchecked, can sometimes cause panic and anxiety. A prime example is when people mistakenly perceive cancer clusters, believing there's a localized cause when it's often just statistical flukes in population distribution. Remember, in any sufficiently large set of data, random clumps and groupings are statistically inevitable. True randomness, in fact, often looks messy and scattered, not evenly spread or neatly organized as we might intuitively expect. Therefore, to avoid falling into this cognitive trap, be skeptical of patterns that appear too neat, too perfect, or too easily explainable. Always ask yourself, is this pattern simply due to chance? And is the sample size large enough to draw meaningful conclusions? So, Don't blindly trust your gut feeling when it comes to streaks or clusters. Instead, rely on the objective data and statistical analysis. Always consider the distinct possibility that what you're observing is nothing more than statistical noise. Make a conscious effort to shift from fast, intuitive thinking, which is prone to biases, to slow, deliberate, statistical thinking. That's the key to seeing through the clustering illusion and making more informed decisions. Finally, social proof. It's a powerful force that shapes our decisions, often without us even realizing it. It's the urge to follow the crowd, to do what everyone else is doing. This instinct is deeply ingrained in us. We assume the busy restaurant is better, simply because it's busy. The line itself becomes a recommendation, or that a trending stock is a smart buy. The fear of missing out or FOMO drives us to jump on the bandwagon. Sometimes following others is useful. It can lead to efficiency and shared knowledge. But when the crowd is wrong, it leads to disaster. Groupthink can amplify errors in judgment. Classic experiments show people will agree with a group's obvious mistake just to fit in, even when they know it's wrong. This pressure to conform can override our own judgment, silencing dissenting voices and critical thinking. It's why bubbles form in markets, fueled by collective excitement and a lack of independent analysis. And why bad ideas go unchallenged, because no one wants to be the one to rock the boat. To fight social proof, pause before you follow the herd. Take a moment to reflect. Ask, is this popular because it's right, or just because everyone else is doing it? Is there real value or just hype? Seek out dissenting opinions and evidence. Don't rely solely on what's trending. Don't be contrarian for its own sake. That's just another form of herd mentality in reverse. Just make sure your choices are based on facts, not popularity. Base them on sound reasoning and verifiable data. The goal is independent thinking, not automatic rebellion. It's about forming your own informed opinions. Be the person who trusts their own eyes, who sees the world as it is, not as others tell you it is, even if you're the only one. It's okay to stand apart if you believe you're right. It takes courage, but it's the foundation of clear thought. It's the bedrock of sound judgment. Make decisions based on evidence, not applause. Let data guide you, not the roar of the crowd. That's how you escape the crowd's trap and think for yourself. So how do you think better? Start by spotting your own blind spots. You can't erase cognitive biases, but you can catch them in action. Survivorship bias, clustering illusion, social proof. Just knowing them gives you an edge. Pause, question, and reflect before you decide. Don't trust your first thought, test it. The world needs better thinkers, not just more information. Think sharper, live smarter, subscribe for more.